So 9.0 just dropped a few days ago in Battle Cats EN, and it already has bugs in it, of course. In the update of 9.0, there are what we call Meow medals, which is really just achievements. Meow medals does not reward you for anything. You don't get any cat food, you don't get to fight anything, you don't get new cats, you don't get anything. It's just for flex. It's really just for flex. And that's important, because we all know that as a Battle Cats player, flexing your account is the most important thing to have. So one of the Meow medals that there is what has been popularized as called Millionaire medals, although that was in JP. In EN, it's called 1%er. There's a group of all these Meow medals, we're just gonna call it the money medals. Basically, all these money medals are obtainable by spending a certain amount of money across different stages. In the description of these medals, it tells you to earn a certain amount of money. This is a mistake. It's not earn a certain amount of money, it's spend a certain amount of money. I don't know why Pono said it's earn a certain amount of money. These will only count if you win or lose a stage. So if you spend like a shit ton amount of money and then you exit the stage or you force close the stage, it doesn't count. You have to win or you have to lose. So I want to find a way to farm these medals. Why? You know, flex privilege. I know a lot of people have made videos on farming these medals, but frankly I kinda disagree with most of them. I either think they're not efficient enough, or I think that they are not fast enough. The only one that I have saw that I can kinda recommend is Jones' video on the efficient way to get the medal, which is using Can and Killer Cat on EOC 3 Moon. I think that one makes pretty good sense. The rest that I've seen, I highly disagree on. I think they're generally inefficient, they're very time wasting, and they're just not a good stage to farm these medals. So I've made certain ways to farm these medals, and I give you 3 choices. The choices are divided by the clear time, which is 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and infinite. Let's start with the 10 minutes one. And by the way, all of these 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and infinite, I will be using CPU and speed up. So when I say 10 minutes and 30 minutes, I mean that's a 20 minutes run and a 1 hour run, shortened up by speed up into 10 minutes and 30 minutes. So for the 10-minute run, I would say is the most efficient in a way, which that it spends a lot of cash, but you have to repeat it every 10 minutes. For this, I use the stage Star Ocean in Low Tide Beach. Star Ocean, if you don't know, is a stage with infinite Dark Doges and 1 HNA. The infinite Dark Doges comes from timer, and it will get stronger as time goes on, and after a while Miss Sign will show up to show that you are fighting Dark Doges with the highest magnification in the stage. The HNA spawns on base hit, the rest is on timer. So you might ask, why Star Ocean? Well, I think the one obvious point is the Dark Doge, the infinite Dark Doge. Dark Doge gives you a lot of money on killing. And infinite Dark Doges? That's a very lot of money. Star Ocean Dark Doge's spawn rate is very fast, so you get pretty much infinite cash from the Star Ocean's Dark Doges if you kill them fast enough. But that's not the only thing that matters here. There's a lot of stages that can give you nearly infinite money, but why Star Ocean specifically? Well, HNA. HNA is a 344 range enemy that attacks fast and has 100% chance to knockback. This is very good to abuse. If you only use units that doesn't outrange HNA but is able to kill Dark Doge, you will be stuck on a stalemate where you can infinitely kill the Dark Doge and you won't be able to damage HNA, so that the HNA doesn't die and there's infinite Dark Doge. Therefore, stalemate. So the lineup recommendation for this, I would say, are just, bring a bunch of units that can kill Dark Doges. It's very cost inefficient, not efficient, inefficient, and has short range. Preferably anything under 340 range. Keep in mind that if you have Pizza's Wave talent, Pizza's Wave can chip down HNA until Pizza kills him. So you kinda have to think twice before bringing Pizza. But then you might also ask, why is the run only 10 minutes then if you say this is pretty much a stalemate? Miss Sign. Out of all things, Miss Sign. Miss Sign usually appears once every 15 minutes, but in Star Ocean it appears so much less. It appears in like 2 or 3 minutes, I forgot to check. Basically, Mist Signs there spawn so fast and they have pretty high magnification, so it's very hard to kill them without using anything that can also kill HNA. And the problem comes when there's too much Mist Signs. It ended up clogging the enemy limit, so that the Dark Doge spawn rate is much less, therefore you don't get as much money as usual, and CPU will most likely kill your units on the HNA, and you'll ended up having no money and you'll ended up getting pushed and you die in about 10 minutes. Usually the runs that I have are at least 10 minutes, usually it's like 10-11 minutes. Sometimes there's ones that are like 7 or 9 minutes, but it's kind of rare. It's almost always around 10 minutes for me. Another thing that you could use is Jizzo. However, Jizzo attacks fast, moves fast, doesn't spit acid, is spammable, and has pretty high range, so I think Jizzo will chip HNA pretty fast. I haven't actually experimented much on Jizzos, so if you have Jizzo you might want to experiment. For what star should you play it on? I play it on 1 star because it's easier to kill the Dark Doges. And, you know, there's not much point in buffing the HNA, since you most likely won't be able to hit it with anything with low range anyways. So therefore the HNA won't die too fast. So yeah, I used 1 star. You might see that, oh wait, HNA died anyways in some of your runs. Yeah, Seafarer chips it. And that's kind of the thing that I worry Jizzo will do too. But maybe if your team is strong enough, maybe if you want to use Jizzo, if you want to use Pizza, maybe you can go to higher stars. Experiment yourself. I personally see it to be more effective on 1 star when I test it around. It might be different for you. If you're maybe like a little bit more boosted, you can do 2 star or 3 star. So that's about it for the 10 minutes one. Let's move on to the 30 minutes one. The 30 minutes choice stage for me is the next sub-chapter from Low Tide Beach, which is Alcatraz and Cat Trial. Cat Trial will spawn 5 groups of infinite one-horns that spawns every 1000 frame and has one 200% Camel on it. To abuse Cat Trial, you do it similarly like Star Ocean. You use units that aren't able to hit Camel and kill a one-horn. Again, it's a very similar concept with Star Ocean, where the Dark Doge is like the one-horn, which is your money source, and the HNA is like the Camel, which stops you from advancing. The lineup that I would recommend would be, well, anti-reds. And of course, try not to bring something that can hit Camel, like don't bring Rusher, don't bring Tanker. Generally try to bring Mid-Ranger or just units that aren't able to tank Camel too well. However, you might see in my lineup that I have Vendor. Vendor is able to tank Camel. Why do I bring Vendor? Well, someone's gotta keep Camel back. I bring Vendor and Breaker Blast because the optimal place to fight is near the enemy base. You see, one-horn is really slow. If you fight near the middle, one-horn is gonna take forever to come, and CPU is gonna drain all your cash on the Camel for nothing, and once one-horn comes, you're gonna die. So, yeah. You should keep Camel as close to the base as possible while dealing minimal damage to Camel. So that's why it doesn't last forever, because you have to kinda damage Camel. Because Camel does push, one-horn does push, Camel does push. Eventually, if you don't push Camel back, he will kill you pretty fast, so you kinda need something to push Camel back without damaging it too much. But then why stop at 30 minutes? You might ask, shouldn't it kinda go for longer? After all, Camel has pretty good health, and Breaker Blast and Vendor doesn't do that much damage. You wanna know why? Miss Sign! Again, after around like 22 minutes or nearly 30 minutes, there's 3 missed signs on the field, and the enemy limit here is 6, and 1 is filled by Camel, so there's only 2 spots left for the one-horns. And at that point, Camel gets damaged pretty quickly. So Camel usually dies around that period, around 30 minutes. After 30 minutes though, the 4th miss sign comes. You can only have one one-horn left in the field, and at that point, it's usually not really worth to continue your run. You might want to finish off Camel fast, or let yourself, I almost wanted to say, go kill yourself up, but you know, you get what I mean. Just end the stage without exiting or restarting. Because if there's only one one-horn left, you don't get that much money. For the star recommendation, I personally go for 2 star. Why? Because at 3 star, the Camel kinda pushes too fast, and I kinda die a lot on 3 star before I even reach like 15 minutes mark. On 1 star, my motherfucking Elemental Duelist tank a hit from Camel. So Elemental Duelist chips down Camel pretty fast. Yeah, that can be a problem. My Batcat also tanks a hit from Camel, even at 2 star, but it's much less of a problem than Elemental Duelist, so that's why I use 2 star. Again, this is my recommendation. you might be different, your units might be more boosted, you might have easier time on 3-star, you might have easier time on 1-star, experiment yourself. So moving on to the last one, which is the infinite one. By infinite, I mean literally infinite, you can do this forever. And you might ask, well, how do you do this? Barrier. It's barrier. And then again, you might ask, wow, Lucas, I thought you were shitting on everybody else for being lame with their methods, and here you are also using barrier. Okay, there's a difference on my stage. The methods I've seen with barrier, they use stages that gives no cash. They just, you know, when you have enough money, when you have defaultly generated money, you spawn something. It takes forever. And by that, I mean like, even if you leave it for hours, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Even if you leave it for hours, it's better to just run like Star Ocean like 3 or 4 times and you get the same amount of worth for hours. It's really not worth. So I went and checked a lot of SOL stages. I went to check a lot of COTC stages. But I don't really find one that's really worth. The closest one that I got was Butara. It's a known Butara, but it's a pretty close one. So I found another stage, Big Bang. Big Bang COTC 1 is very good for this. So let me show this. To start off, you want to rush down Godcat as fast as you can. Well, not really as fast as you can, as long as it's before the Solar, and you know, don't kill the base. Hold back, hold back if you need to, and then you use the La Solar as your invincible barrier unit. The lineup recommendation, the 2 must-have is Fishman and Crazy Titan or Manic Jam. Fishman to rush down God fast, and Crazy Titan for later. You can optionally bring Sadako if you have trouble rushing God down, but it's really not needed. And the rest, you don't want to fill everything, but you want to bring some Money Waster. The Money Waster that you want to bring are units that are very cost inefficient and have low health. The very obvious example would be Killer Cat, of course, but there are other examples that you can take, which is like Doll Cat, Little Flying Cat, maybe even like Little Cow, and Tricycle Cat. There are several others, I'm pretty sure, but these are the ones that I recommend because these units have very low health and cost pretty high. I explained why you should bring Fishman, but what about Crazy Titan? What about Manic Jam? Why can't you just bring like normal LD units or normal wave units? Well, Space Fish. There's infinite Space Fish and you don't want the missign thing to happen with Space Fish basically. Crazy Titan Wave, even when Crazy Titan is only at level 20, is able to break Space Fish barrier and kill it. And you'd want that so that it doesn't clock the barrier, because you want to leave this game for hours, right? It also kills the oncoming peons and gives you a lot of money. So there's that. By the way, Space Fish comes in like very, very, very late. Yeah, it kind of takes forever for the Space Fish and Infinite Gregory's to come in Big Bang. But it gives you a good amount of cash, it really does, and you actually can infinite this one too, so this is very good for you if you want to sleep or whatever. I would highly recommend to lure the Solar near your base. The reason for that is because of cat limit. Earlier I said, you know, bring units with low health. This is where it comes to play, because if you have full COTC 3 treasures, the Solar does like 1000 damage. And you'd want to spend your money on units that doesn't tank too long so that your cat limit doesn't fill up. And getting the Solar near your base helps not clogging the cat limit too. And yeah, this can pretty much legit go forever. You could go Manic Jam, and although that means that more Manic Jams might be able to clock the cat limit, I don't think it matters too much. Manic Jam is pretty good too, because the wave would be much more reliable too. But again, that also means clogging the cat limit more. This won't be a problem if you use things like Killer Cat and the first form Lucas though. So yeah, you can just leave this on with cat CPU and speed up. Remember, if you want to stop, don't force close, let the enemies win, because you can't win. You can't win. Oh yeah, also don't bring Breaker Blast. I forgot to say, obviously don't bring Breaker Blast. Remember to charge your phone so that it doesn't die off, so that your idling doesn't go to waste. Don't overheat, don't overdo. Like, if you've gone in for a very, very long time, you might be better off to just let yourself loose. Because if the game crashed or whatever, or something resets the stage, you're gonna lose everything. You're gonna lose all your progress. It's just one speed up and one cat CPU. Don't be afraid to lose it. That's about it. I hope that helps you. Helps you in getting useless Meow medals. Yeah. Oh yeah, flex privilege, that's why. If you got that 1%er, show it to all your friends, flex it, show how much you've wasted your time. Show that you are true, the Battle Cat gamer. Alright gamer, signing off. Stay hydrated gamers. Goodbye, gamers. Good night. I need to fucking sleep.